Wandering around the streets of Port Orford, I remembered a story that happened in an incident relating to the woman that lived in this house. I was driving down Highway 101 and I distinctly felt the Lord prompt me to stop at a house, this house, where there was an older woman. And she was, I think, sickly. And I knew about it because I was a pastor, associate pastor at the Port Orford Christian Center. I thought to myself, I got to follow up on this. Have you ever heard the still small voice of the Lord and you don't know if you're talking to yourself or if it's the Lord talking to you and you don't know what to do about it? It was one of those situations where I knew it was probably the Lord. But I figured even if it wasn't, what's bad about going to visit somebody that's elderly? I didn't even know the woman, total stranger. And I specifically felt the Lord say, go buy some flowers for her. I didn't even know how old she was. And so I stopped at the local market. I think it was called McKay's in those days. And I picked up a little bouquet of flowers and parked the car, knocked on the door, and an old lady came. And she was probably in her late 80s. But she was spry. And she invited me in. I told her I was a pastor at the Port Orford Christian Center, and I was right up front. I felt the Lord wanted me to stop to bring you these flowers to encourage you. She was so thankful. By the way, that noise you hear in the background, it's thundering, and it's probably fixing to rain here any minute, which is not unusual. So we went into the living room and we began to talk, and it was so sweet. I wasn't there long, but we just loved on each other. I loved her and she loved me, and we talked about Jesus and how he loved her and had an eternal plan for her. She was confident of the fact that when she died, that she would be with the Lord. And so I walked out, drove away, and about 2 weeks later, I felt the same prompting again. I felt the Lord saying, go over there and visit and follow up, do a follow-up visit. I go, yeah, that's a good idea, Lord. And I put it off. Have you ever heard of the expression, you missed a lost opportunity? Well, that's what I believe it was. Because about a week or so later, I read in our local small town newspaper that she had passed on. And I felt so bad. I felt like the Lord was giving me an opportunity to go once again and minister to her. And I wouldn't say he rebuked me, but I did feel a little check in my spirit. And that check was, when I prompt you, obey, because there's a blessing in obedience. And we think of obedience to God as like, oh no, he's after us again. I got to go do that. I don't really want to do it. No, obedience is precious. And the Lord was telling me to be obedient. And I missed that opportunity. But I learned from it. I learned from there on in, when I hear the voice of the Lord or the tugging of the Holy Spirit to do something, like 99% of the time, I obey even though I don't understand it. So I trust that will be an encouragement to you to learn to listen, learn to obey. I leave you with this word, to pause and ponder.